Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. Into today's video, we're going to talk about the release that just dropped a couple of hours ago. What's new in FabricFlow for April 4th? So, because this dropped in April 4th, I will be not surprised if there is another update until the end of this month. So, don't be surprised if you actually see another video for April as well in my channel. And before we start, actually, I just want to say thank you very much for all the people who are actually a paid user to my, a paid members to my YouTube channel. That actually means a lot. Like 99% or 95% of the income that is coming from YouTube is actually from paid members. So thank you very much. And if you consider to be a fanatic member, you have access to a lot of videos actually that are especially first released to my paid members and then released to the public. So a lot of great technique like scrolling, infinite scrolling, um, coming from Superbase on it or any other infinite scrolling, for example, and so many other more. So you can check it out. And if you haven't joined my Discord already, please, the link is in the description if you want to see me or talk with me or just ask your questions. Yeah, please consider joining my Discord as well. And also, actually, FabricFlow, I don't know if you saw the April Fool's joke of FabricFlow. They actually created a website called FabricFlow.io, which is a generative site. It's actually a real site. And when you visit this site, you actually are able to create your own t-shirt. And so you have like a bunch of logos, like 6 of them, and you're able to create your t-shirt. And the fun part about that is that if you actually are a member of FabricFlow, if you're a paid member of FabricFlow, yeah, of course, I need to probably add first a logo here. And what is actually funny, or like not funny, but what is interesting is that FabricFlow is actually using the drop and drag capabilities of FabricFlow in order to create this. So you can actually see that I'm dragging here and dropping the different logos. And so they are using the drag and drop for this particular like mode of FabricFlow. And when you click on checkout, you actually be able to put a code, a caption code, and this code is actually coming from. So it says here, if you are a paid subscriber of FabricFlow, paste your coupon here, and it was actually interesting because with Josh, we did an experiment yesterday, and we actually created a trial account just to see if the coupon will work. You actually have an access to the coupon, but the coupon is actually not working, which is of course like. I mean, of course, it should be like that, and also, I think you have to at least be a paid member for 1 month at least to be in order to have access to the coupon and the coupon to be like a legit coupon. But you can still order if you're just a free member. You can still order for $17 for a t-shirt, and then for the hoodie, I think it is 30 something. Yeah, it's 35. So uh, there is interesting things here. It's funny, so I just want to show you. So first of all, of course, you have the possibility to make light and dark the whole builder, and then when you click on the phone, you're actually able to see the shirt or in this case the hoodie, the actual hoodie or just an image of the hoodie, which is super cool. I think that's great. And then we can also change the color of the hoodie. So this is the black one. You probably don't see anything right now, but you can change the color of the hoodie. And if I click on this button again, you can probably see it better visually like that. But I really like that you can actually see the fabric of the hoodie as well, or of the t-shirt, which is cool. So if I switch to the t-shirt, you're able to see the t-shirt like that, which is super cool. We have this safe area as well, but I don't think that matters, to be honest, in this particular case. And another cool thing, actually, it's another hack. It's actually Josh. Josh is always thinking about some hacks, and he have like the smartest ideas. Um, that I cannot think of them, but he actually, I don't think this is relevant, but he actually suggested that you can do the scaling of the logo so small. Actually, you can do it to 0, so when you order a t-shirt, it will be a blank t-shirt. I don't know if you ever want to do that, and why do you want to do that? But you can still be, you're supposed to be able to do that for some reason. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why, and I even can select it right now to see my logo. But you have the front side, you have the back side as well. And to be honest, I actually put the back side, I put the FabricFlow logo, and on the front side, I put this logo. I really liked those two logos. And they're full size logos. I haven't scaled it or something like that. And it's good that you actually have the builder over here. You can actually select it. So, for example, this is the logo that I have scaled to 0, so I can still select it. To be honest, I'm not sure how you can delete, probably with the delete button, right? Yeah. So the right click actually is not working here. And I think they purposely did it to not work, to be honest. But still, you can add it from here as well. And you have this diamond, which of course it should not work because this is your custom like widgets or components. And then we have the pages, and of course we have only one page. But rather than that, it's super simple, but it looks great actually. I really like the idea that they built it, like they used FabricFlow in order to build another builder for t-shirts. I really like that idea, and maybe in the future they will do something else with that, with the builder. I mean, they will build something more. And then we have these comments over here, which are funny, to be honest, if you haven't read them. But yeah, I probably spent a lot of time on the t-shirt thing, but like I said, you can order your free t-shirt if you're a paid member. So if you haven't already, please do. And not please, but you can do it. And yeah, let's actually jump to the real stuff, which is today we're going to talk about um, drag and drop, which is a functionality that a lot of people are actually asked about. We have the personalized IDE configurations, UI builder value fields. So we're going to show you that all now. And let's jump into this today video. Okay, so let's talk about the first feature, which is the drag and drop. And there was a lot of people actually asking for the drag and drop in the community. And you could probably see that there was a wish list over here, but there is no more a wish list. And that is because actually FabricFlow are focusing on their roadmap. So if you haven't actually saw the roadmap, I think it's in the home And this is the sorry, it's not this one, but it should be here, right? Yeah, so this is the roadmap. FabricFlow 2024, our product vision and roadmap. I should probably actually do a video about that now that I think about it. But what I wanted to say is that the drag and drop was a lot of people are asked about that, so it's very good that FabricFlow finally integrated that. And let me actually show you how that works. So let me switch to my app that I built, or the page that I built. Super simple page. And the whole idea is that I have two images here, but of course I can have like an unlimited images because this is a list of images actually. And the whole idea is that I can actually drag this image right now inside the delete square, which you cannot probably see because it's all black, but the square is like that, or like that almost. And then just drag it over here and the image will be deleted from the page. And then if I drag the other one, it will be deleted again. And then I created a button over here to appear um, the images, because if I delete them, there's no way to appear them again. So if I click appear, they will just magically appear here. So if I drag again, delete this image, and then appear. So how I actually build that, I of course use the new drag and drop functionality. So if I go to this page over here, I will show you how I build it. And those images are different, but this is like a dummy image, so don't be fooled why those images are different than the one you just saw. But what is the whole idea? So first of all, I have actually created a data type called image, EMG, which is image. And then I have the part of the image, and I have not deleted a boolean. So not deleted the boolean, and this by default should be true, to be honest. This should be true, to be honest. I haven't done it to true for some reason, but it should be true. The idea is to be true. And then I want to have a list of images. So in my example, I only have two, but of course you can have more. And of course this can come from Supabase, Firebase, API call, or whatever. But in my case, I put it in an app state. And why I put it in an app state, you'll probably ask why I didn't put it in page state. The reason I didn't put it in page state, because in page state, unfortunately, you cannot actually provide a default value. So if I place a data type list of data types and it's an image, you can actually see over here that I cannot supply like a default value, so I cannot add my values into the list. The only way I can add them is through an app state. So like I said, I created an app state, images, and then this is a list of data type EMG. And then I have created two images. This is the link to one image, and it says not deleted is actually true. And then here is the other image. It says not deleted to true. It's not actually a good practice, to be honest, to have like not deleted. It's probably better to have deleted, but in my case, I made it not deleted. It's not like super strange to do it like that. And then in the colon, I'm actually getting generate children. So I don't have anything in the backend query. I don't need the backend query. It's coming from the API call in my personal case. And then for the images, I'm actually taking the images from the app state, and here I'm just writing image. And then I have a draggable, so it's very important to have draggable for each of the images. First of all, for the first time I did it, actually, I did it, the draggable was before it was on top of the colon, and this is not how you have to do it. If you have a list, you have to have the draggable for every single item you have out there. And then we have the image, which is actually conditional visibility, and this is how I'm actually deleting the images, to be honest. It's just a simple conditional visibility, so it's controlled by a boolean. So when the image enters here, it's actually changing the boolean to is not deleted to false, and it's actually deleted. So how do I implement that? It's coming from the app state, and then it says in item index specific index, and this is index in list. So this index is in list is actually coming from image item and as index in list. And then I use the structure data structure field, and I'm getting not deleted, which is my boolean. Like I said, by default it's true, so it's not deleted. And then for the actual image, I use the same thing. Again, item in list specific index, and then I have index. Uh, the same thing, image item, index and list, and then I have data structure field path. So this is the path to the image. Great. So this is how you're displaying it and how to delete it. So first of all, when you click on draggable, it's very important that you are passing a value. So in my case over here, on the draggable, I'm passing a value to when I start dragging, I'm passing the value of my index. So I need to know which image exactly I want to delete. And this is an integer because you can actually see over here with this icon that this is an integer, and you need to specify the same data type. I don't know why this is not by default, to be honest, but it's not for now. Maybe in the future, FabricFlow will make it by default because they already know that this is integer, right? So if I specify some other thing over here, I'll probably get an error. But yeah, in my case, because I'm passing the index, it's an integer, and I'm here, I'm just passing the image item and item in list. Very simple thing. Great. And then what is going on when I drag this item over here? So this is where the magic actually is happening. When I click open, we have certain things here. So first of all, we have on drag accept, we have on drag enter, we have on drag exit. We have um, three different action scenarios, and of course I did it on drag accept, so that means that when I release it, it will actually delete it. But of course, if you want when it's enter to delete it, then you can also do that. Or if you want on exit, if you have something inside your so if I have, for example, this inside, and when I for example, this text delete, or I have an image inside here, and I start to drag it outside of this box, outside of the box of the drag target, then it will fire this action, which is on drag exit. And then of course you can do something on drag exit. And then I have a very simple update, which is actually updating the index to the item, to the image, to not deleted to false. That means that it is actually deleted. So I'm getting the app state, and I'm getting the images from my app state, and I'm getting update item at index. This is something new actually. That was a long time we didn't have update item at index, but now we have it. A long time we did it, a custom code for that, but now we have it. And then we have the drag it data. So that is where the magic happening. And again, I just have to mention that I haven't mentioned that, but I just have to mention that inside the drag target, you actually on the right where it says drag target properties, make sure that your type is the same as the draggable. If it's not the same data type, so in my case it's integer, if it's not the same data type, it will give you an error. So that's very important to know. And then I'm actually using this as my index. So because I'm passing the index, now I can take the index. So when I click over here, it says drag target, and it's drag it data. So drag it data is actually my index, to be honest. So I'm passing my index, and I'm saying update fields, and which fields I want to update. I actually want to update the image, sorry, the not deleted field, only this field. I can update another field, of course, but I want to only update this field. And I'm going to set it, and in my case, I'm going to set it to false, but I'm going to actually use a constant for that. So I can write probably false here, but that if I write false, it will be the string false and probably not the boolean false. In order to use the boolean false, I need to click on constants, and then common constants, and then click on false. This is how I'm doing it. Great. This is how I did it actually. And then for the final thing, it's about the appear. So how I'm actually doing the appear, when I click on it, it's a simple button. This is nothing to do with the dragging anymore. Just this is just a simple button. And when I click on it, is actually I'm updating the images and I'm setting the value, which means that I'm going to set the whole every single item that I have in images, which in my case it's only two, and I'm using this custom function. So you can actually do it with a loop without any code, but to be honest, for me, it's faster to just write it as a code, as a custom function. And this is my custom function. I'm accepting the images as a list of data type image, and then I'm returning again the list of data type image, and then I'm checking if it's no, then make an empty, create it, just assign to an empty array, and then if it's no, it will just I'll just return an empty array. But if it's not no, I will just go through, I'll loop all through the images with all the data types, and then I'll convert to not deleted to true because I don't want them to be deleted. Great. And then I'll assign, I'll get the data. I need an argument for that. And my data is actually coming from the app state. So yes, you can actually pass app state over here and update the app state. You can do that actually. And then rebuild the page. And this is how I did it actually. This is everything I think that you need to know about this. And the final thing that I want to mention is that when you run it in test mode, just keep in mind that you will not be able to see the images here because test mode has limitations. I have talked about that in my previous videos, but that was like probably a long time ago. But if you haven't actually stumbled upon my post, which was like 10 months ago. I think it's even more. This was actually when the new community was created. So that's why it says 10 months old, but I think it's even older. But there are some limitations, like I said, and the images is actually one of those limitations. So it says currently you cannot load the default images, so you cannot load images. So if you don't know that, just wanted to share that with you. It will still work. You can actually see that I can drop the object event and it will delete it, and I can drop the object event and it will delete it, and when I click on appear, they will appear. So it's actually working the same way as normally, but of course it doesn't look pretty. So you can actually see it deleting the images, and then clicking appear, it will appear. Great. So let's move on to the next feature. Okay, so um, Google sign in for Windows, and they have actually created a sign in with Google. Sorry, yeah, exactly, for sign in for Google. Uh, but what are people actually asking? Which is great, actually, much appreciated. But what are people are actually asking? And it makes sense actually. That's why I want to include in this video. If for some reason someone from FabricFlow is actually watching, so they know, is that for Windows, actually, it makes sense to have authentication or sign in or sign up methods using Microsoft, and that's not only Google or let's say Apple. I don't think actually you can actually use Apple, of course, in the Windows app, or maybe you can. I'm not sure, but Microsoft actually makes sense. Well, it makes a lot of sense for Windows. So yeah, let's hope that this will be included in the future as well. And then finally, is that sorry? It's not finally. And then the next one, it's not finally, it's the next one. It's a local run IDE configuration. And what that means actually is that right now you have the configure IDE. So it's optional thing. You don't have to do it. But you can set your default ID to open the local run exported project. Choose any of the following IDs and select its path. On your system, usually it is present in the applications directory on a Mac OS. So You have this VS Code, you have Android Studio, and IntelliJ. And you can select the path, and that will actually open the project. To download the project, then open it inside your IDE. And there was a question actually. Someone asked, what if I change my code inside this IDE? Will it affect my FabricFlow project inside FabricFlow, inside the official FabricFlow app? It will not actually. This is locally only, so it will not affect your FabricFlow project. This is only for local testing, for debugging, or if you for some reason want to download the project and then make some modifications to the project and then deploy it manually, not from FabricFlow. Some of the examples that I can give you is modifying some the input list, for example, on iOS, or the manifest on Android. If you, for some reason, want to do that, and currently right now in FabricFlow, you cannot actually do that. So if you need to modify those files and then deploy, this is how you have to do it. So download the code with the local run, edit it with your IDE, and then deploy it. Great. So let's move on to the next one. And UI builder value is actually will be the last major one. And UI builder value, it's actually a very good enhancement to FabricFlow, which means that if your value is coming from a source, you can now modify what you're actually seeing. So I will give you an example, for example, and then I can probably scroll, or probably can actually put my text at the top, sorry. So you have this hello, we have this hello world. Let's make it a little bit bigger so you probably can see it better. Let's say 28, for example. So let's say that I have this hello world, and let's say that this hello world, I want this to come from a name, from the app state name, which looks great now. We see the app state name, and that's great. But and now I know that this is coming from app state name. I don't know it's coming from app state name, but I know that this is name, is what I'm trying to say. But what if actually instead of using it like that, I use combined text. And when I use combined text, I use name here from the app state again. And then I need a space. For some reason, I need a space, and then I put something else. But for now, I'm not going to put it. I will just confirm it for now. And now what you see is this ugly one over here, and you have no idea what you put it over here. So in order to do that, in order to see what you put, you have to click over here and then see it. Okay, but now we have this UI builder display value, and now I can just write app, and then I say name, and then confirm, and then voila, it's not working. I said voila, it was not working. Yeah, so for some reason I didn't know that, to be honest. Now I saw it in while I was building that, but for some reason this is not working on combined text, which is super weird, because I think the most like effective way of using this feature is using a combined text, because in the combined text you have like a lot of text over here, a lot of values, and you just get 1, 2, and something like that. And yeah, FabricFlow, if you're watching this, please fix it, because it makes a lot of sense to actually work on the combined text and not on just passing a value. So, but I generally I think this is a bug, and they're going to fix it. But if I use only an app state like name, if I delete the app name over here and click confirm, I'll see only name, because this is what my variable name is. But if I want to know that this name is actually coming from the app state, I can just write app dash name, for example, and I'm going to see it like that. So then generally I can write whatever I want to, but this is only for UI purposes inside the builder. It will not affect your app in any case, so you don't have to worry about your app. Or if you want to display this in your app, this is not how you're going to do that, right? It should be inside the variable, and not this is like the variable name, let's say. So that was all the major and other improvements. It says move the add page component button to the left sidebar. So what they mean by that is that they moved this green button over here. It was actually over, I think it was over here or over here before, and they move it over here, which makes sense, to be honest. It was previously it was here, and they move it over here, and then they move it back over here. But I think it makes sense to be here. It's just on the page where you've created a new folder. It makes sense to be there, I think. So I think this is a good change. And then they wrote that they fixed some bugs in walkthrough, and then fixed some bugs in the local run. And then what we are going to expect is actually FabricFlow Copilot. So FabricFlow Copilot is actually going to be like ChatGPT in FabricFlow, and we'll see how effective it will be. I have I have access to it using the beta testing. Uh, and so far, I can just say that it needs a lot of improvement in order to help you with your projects or with FabricFlow. But it's a good step forward. So much appreciated. Let's see when they finally release it, what will be the result. And then we have the animations and transforms by variable. That's actually a great thing, because that means that you no longer have to manually putting the values when you're creating animations and transforms, and that means that you will be able to do all kinds of animations and transforms. That's actually much appreciated. So I cannot wait to see how they do that. But technically, I'm not like very good with animations transformers, so I'll see what kind of a demo I'll probably show you guys. But before I finish this video, I just want to say thank you very much for all the people who subscribed to my channel, and all the people who are actually paid members to my channel. Thank you very much for ever considering being a paid member. And if you are a Fanatic paid member, you have access to a lot more content of my videos, and pre-release videos that only the paid members have. And then they are all going to be publicly available, but after some like a couple of weeks or a couple of months. And if you haven't joined my Discord, my goal for 5,000 subscribers, actually, it's to, when I reach 5,000 subscribers, I want to create weekly live shows, live streams in my Discord channel. So in order to help me with that, to achieve that, please subscribe to my channel and join my Discord. So yeah, thank you very much and have a nice day. Take care.